the business, you got the tank set up. What's the biggest reason a client lets you go? And is there, over the past 17 years, what have you changed to combat that reason?
So if you're asking that on a personal level, my personal history, I was about to say a bit ADD, and Richard's going to laugh at me. I'm very ADD, and I have had issues now and then of letting invoices stack up, and people get pissed when you do that. And it doesn't even make any sense. And I'm sort of like on the air admitting like one of the faults that I have, which is, letting an invoice stack up to like 3 or 4, and then you submit like a $2,000 bill. And
yeah, then you're the asshole.
And then they hate you for it. And it makes people think like, what sort of business you running? What do you hate money? Blah, blah, blah.
I forgot to bill for a month or two for one of these tanks. I just ate it. It was like, oh, I fucked that up. I'm just the asshole. I'm not going to turn around now and ask them for all this money now. I blew that. So
yeah, I mean, and you so that's why I say get with a CPA and get with an accounting program. Even if you had like 1 or 2 clients where you could pretty much do that on paper, but it doesn't matter. Like just get QuickBooks Online and start doing it like that. It tracks your mileage and tracks everything. You can make an invoice right there on your phone. I'll go into this real quick. My problem traditionally had been, I wake up in the morning, I get everything ready. I go clean tanks all day. Then I get home, I have 3 kids. They want me to cook dinner. They want me to wrestle with them. I put everyone to bed. I'm so tired. I have one eye open and I'm trying to remember, what did I put in Larry's tank? And what did I do this and that? And that's not the time anymore. That's not the time anymore because I'm falling asleep making invoices. And then I'll say, I'll do it in the morning. What happens in the morning? I wake up, I clean tanks, I come home, I cook food, I wrestle with the kids. And it's like Groundhog Day.
I want to jump on that because I think this is the most important thing, I think, for any business is you need to stay on top of it and record keep. Mm-hmm. And you need to do that all timely. And that's just any business. And that way, when you do screw it up, you haven't screwed it up so bad. It's not neglect on neglect on neglect on neglect. It's you're all set up, everything's good, and you've neglected something for 3 days. You can still catch up to it. If you get behind on that kind of stuff, you're never gonna get back up that hill without an insane amount of work. But what was your actual question? I know we answered a different question than what you actually asked.
Well, long story short, why do clients leave? Do they lose interest? Do you have a disagreement?
So I think Ben's note about not billing them in a timely manner, that's just a dumb one you should avoid. But people, I mean, think about you. If you had, your pool and they didn't bill you for 3 months, you'd be like, fuck you. So don't do that.
Fucking stuff up. Stuff up.
Not being professional. Yeah. Don't answer a text to a client with, dude, I don't care what kind of relationship you have with that client. Oh, be good. Have you ever really just lost anything from screwing up the tank, Ben?
Few and far between, because usually, I'll come, okay, let me do a real-time one. And this is super embarrassing, but I'll eat crow in front of everybody. Man, I'm 47. I've been doing this professionally since I was 16. 2 months ago, a 500-gallon freshwater tank, I was sitting there filling it as I was draining out and being too slow to put in chlorine remover, and I killed this whole lady's tank. Super embarrassing thing to do after having done this for so goddamn long. But if we have any beefers that are aquarium maintenance technicians like me, like, I really don't care how long you've been doing this or how highly you think of yourself or how good you think you are. You will fuck up. You'll fuck up. And so what I did with that is I already had a great rapport with this client. She was pretty sore with me, and the husband was super sore with me, but I never communicate with him much. So it was easy for him to get pissed off at me. But I just had to bend over backwards the day that it was there. Obviously, I didn't submit the maintenance that I had done that day. I wasn't going, oh, I killed your fish and here's $350 invoice. Like, so I was like, okay, so that invoice is gone. And then I was like, I told her right off the bat, I was like, oh, I'm going to put new fish in there. Because I want you to be careful of something business going forward. Your knee-jerk reaction is to get mad at people when they're mad at you and just say, oh, if you're going to be mean, just, whatever, forget it. You got to get that monthly check. So you're going to have to learn how to be, what I'm trying to say is when you run a business, and this was hard one for me, this took many years for me to pull my head out of my ass and do this. Don't be emotional with your clients on that level. If something turns bad, don't be emotional. The worst thing that I will ever say to a client, ever say to a client is, I'm sorry I couldn't, I'm sorry that I couldn't meet your needs and blah, blah, blah. That's a word. No, fuck you, no, screw you, no talking about whatever, nothing. If a client dresses you down and cusses you out, the only thing you say is, don't ever get in a text argument with a client. Don't put something down in writing that they can share on Yelp. Never do that. Just don't do it, period.